this young man just suffered this stray bullets hitting him, and he's one of the young men in this Samama township of the eastern region. And the situation here is very chaotic. Morning, and the operation is still on. There you have one Chinese man running up there, and it's been given a hot chase. And the Vanguard team. Following Wednesday disaster at a mining site in the Galamsey district of the Upper East region that resulted in the death of some 16 illegal miners, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister and his deputy are flying to the disaster zone to get first-hand information as to why these Galamseyers defied directives to undertake the operations that led to the untimely death of the 16. The small-scale mining sector in Ghana is central to the country's success story in the global gold production rankings.
Economic historians will attest to the fact that for many decades before and after independence, this was the single most important enterprise in the economy. Indeed, from the resources of Boise and in combination with our timber and cocoa, provided more than half the gross domestic product of the country at one time in our history.
That notwithstanding, there were infractions that threatened not only the small-scale mining sector, but the sustainability of the mining industry, as mining and export of illegal gold surged.
Because of the issue of the Galamsey, all the rail lands from Kojokom to Takwa was chopped by this Galamsey team. What you may see that the rail lands, the lands are there bare, but they have chopped under. Yeah, as I'm talking now.
That's dangerous.
Minister for Railway, he said what he know of it. That's why they are trying to link. That's why from Kojokom to Takwa has not been constructed. But they are not trying. You see, former it has been eaten by these Galamsey boys. But there's a gold there. And because of this scanty two rail lines, we have to remove it and win our gold. Yeah. But as I'm talking now, the 2BM squad, they are there in the forest, chasing them. So it will be very difficult for you to win. But they go there at night. As you know, no curfew, they'll go there, then they'll win.
Government in 2017 took steps, including an embargo on small-scale mining in a bid to sanitize the industry and ensure sustainable mining.
I know those guys are going out with the intention of returning back, but please, that will not happen this time around. They should take it from me. This time, we as a country, not as a government, collectively have agreed that enough is enough. Dredges, Akimodan, 20, Aslakragwa, 100, Asimfusu, 200, that is River Pra, on the River Ofin, almost 300. Dunkwa, 10, Takwa on River Ankobra, 8, River Pra, 10, almost over, quite close to about 1,000, what they call the illegal Galamsey floating platform.
The so-called war led to the arrest and prosecution of many illegal small-scale miners. Some were prosecuted and sentenced. One of such that readily comes to mind is the case involving a Chinese national who would later be known in the Ghanaian media space as a Galamsey queen. The trial of the Chinese national Aisha Huang, who gained popularity through Galamsey, came to an abrupt end, and the lady deported to her home country, China.
Apart from they being accused of engaging in illegal mining, Aisha Huang, who is the first accused person, is being accused of employing the 4 other persons illegally to undertake these activities.
That singular act by the state attracted criticism from Ghanaians who argued the gesture does not only send a wrong signal about the state's commitment to the fight, it demoralizes police and army officers.
Aisha was not like one of those victims that you can, those small fishes that you find in the pits, who are earning a living for them. She, from all the information we had gotten, was one of the financiers, very influential people who were behind it. So you wanted to ensure that for once you had gotten somebody who, if you dealt with, could actually deal with the supply, of resources towards this illegal mining, to deal with some of the people who are actually benefiting from it. So for us to then hear that Nolly Prosokwa was, for me, one of the lowest, ebbs in this whole fight against, illegal, the fight that the Stop Galamsey fight.
As majority of Ghanaians condemned the deportation of the Galamsey Queen as a sign of weakness, a senior state official had a contra-review.
Very good relationship with China. They're the main company that is helping develop the infrastructure system in Ghana. Is Sino Hydro. It's a Chinese company. It's the one that's going to help process our bauxite and provide about $2 billion to us. So when there are these kind of arrangements, there are other things behind the scenes. Putting that lady in jail in Ghana is not going to solve your economic problem. It's not going to make you happy or me happy. That's not important. The most important thing that has been imported out of Ghana. So we must say something. I'm saying that there are many other things beyond what you see in these markets. And everybody is wide awake.
But as it turned out, it appears Yao Osafo-Mafu was standing alone in his defense of what many described as a smirk in the face of the Ghanaian people. The defense was like adding insults to injury, and the Ghanaian people didn't mince words.
This is somebody, when I'm discussing, I find it so difficult because I have huge respect for him. He's a senior friend of mine. But I think he goofed beyond recovery. There was no relationship from all my investigations between what had happened to Aisha and the Sino Hydro thing. None of whatsoever. And all what he should have done, if he wasn't capable of doing, was to let somebody with a legal, acumen from maybe the Attorney General's office to talk about it. Explain why they're not prosecuted. Even if you don't want to explain, just put it there, rather than go and bring in the economic diplomacy factor.
He's a senior minister. He sits in cabinet.
Unfortunately, that's what gave the credence to what he said. Okay, that's what made some people believe it. But the truth is that it was not. It was a baseless statement.
The senior minister, somebody who has seen a lot of seasons, somebody who has a lot more experience than we are, give this justification that for $2 billion, we are prepared to sacrifice 2.29 billion cedis damage that has been done to us. We did not want to ensure that the detriment, effect of prosecution happens. We do not want to make sure that the sanctions, in terms of even fines, that could have been fined for each of these people, that could have gone into ensuring that, we at least recovers part of the cost of fixing this, would have dealt with it. That we did not want that maybe in the course of this, some of the people who were behind working with Aisha would have gotten them exposed, that we did not want to do all of this. And then we want to do a justification for the Sino Hydro deal. Definitely the message that comes out of what the senior minister has said is a fatal blow to this particular fight. It is very demotivation to everybody who is involved in it.
The fight went on anyway, with the arrest and prosecution of Ghanaian nationals who were being slapped with 5-year jail terms. The Galamseyers are running away upon hearing the warning shot by the police officer accompanying the minister, and there they are, kids, 5 years, and the police just fired another warning shot. They are all running away from the mining site here at Nananko. It is unbelievable. All of them making good business here at the expense of the state.
Say beya nkwada nso benya bribi adu ofie ntina. Oh, ewo mu sa but Ghana mra ne de ne ye de so ane so ba nko be ma toilet so. Na bebre eno no kora de ewo mu de me na mka kire wo.
You can see just in the background, they are walking back to the site, the illegally occupied site, to continue with their illegality of undertaking Galamsey.
We have said so many things. This is a national problem. Government will need to deal with it, but it has a local solution. Every one of us needs to understand that this is not the way to go and be committed to helping resolve it. So if we at the local level see it and we don't complain,
exactly the question, don't we have MCs, DCs, police, district police?
So
the impunity is just...
That's where we got to solve this. That's where we all get to understand that this is not the way to go. Yes, we need to create livelihood. But in creating livelihood, you don't destroy the livelihood for tomorrow's future or even for you yourself. So that's a challenge. And we all need to get involved. I hope that people hearing this, seeing this would see that we all have a part to play. It's not the president.
Hundreds of excavators and other mining equipment were seized in the process. But in as much as a number of Ghanaians applauded the Akufo-Addo-led administration for using a joint police and military task force, Operation Vanguard, to fight the so-called war on Galamsey, there were those who, right from the onset, spoke vehemently against the approach.
I think in 1988, there was a military intervention to stop Galamsey. Then in 2004, 2005, I think 2005, under President Akufo, there was what we called Operation Flashout. It was also a military intervention to stop Galamsey. Then under President Mahama, we had the Interministerial Task Force against Galamsey. And now we have Operation Vanguard. Now, if all these operations had succeeded, why are we still having another operation?
Richard Elima is Executive Director of Center for Social Impact. He says governments may be right to take action to address the menace of illegal mining, except the use of military and police is wrong.
Our mining sites have grown so much over the past few years, and they have outgrown the number of officers who can monitor them. So let's get a lot more people for the Minerals Commission who have been given the mandate under the law to regulate the sector. The second thing we need to do is that let's map out who are doing illegal mining because of livelihood issues. Let's get them. Why can we give them an alternative to the small-scale mining? Can we give them an alternative? So besides mining, are they prepared to do any other thing?
The idea of ending the illegal mining menace in recent times was started by former President John Dramani Mahama. The approach was no different from the use of Vanguard. As I took frontline position to report about this operation by a joint police military task force in the eastern region town of Asamama.
Where we've had illegal mining activity taking place over the years. As you can hear, that is a town of gunshots fired by the police. And we have the young men who are trying to counter the activities of the police here. I have one such gentleman here with me, and he's going to tell us exactly what he makes of the situation. And now it's getting chaos. We have to run for our lives now. So right now, this is one of the dead bodies being carried away from the mine site. Was shot by
the current administration's attempts to end the menace was triggered by this ambitious declaration by President Akufo-Addo when he literally put his presidency on the line to fight and win the war against illegal mining.
Perhaps it's the first time I'll be saying it in public. I am prepared to put my presidency on the line on this matter.
The Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Kweku Asomachreme, has had cause to pay an unannounced visit to areas that have become safe havens for illegal miners who continue to defy the law and mine with impunity in forest reserves and in some cases right by the shoulders of roads, like these illegal miners who were seen undertaking their activity in Prestia.
Yeah, I'm really shocked. In Akan, they say Okusia Utumi Mrikapa no Onona Ufirewia. So that you find it very difficult to arrest it. These are the guys who claim that they have gotten their licensing in order They claim to have obtained it from the interministerial, and indeed you can find the emblem on their signpost, but that is not sufficient. Haven't gotten that one, they need to acquire and procure the operating license from the Minerals Commission, which they don't have. So it makes the entire exercise wrong. It is illegal. And if indeed they have the operating license, at least a copy should have been kept with them so that we can easily inspect. A check from the Minerals Commission by the Inspectorate Division, the inspector here with us, indicates that they don't have it.
The multi-sectoral mining integrated project document has many fine proposals, but until government finds a practical approach to implement these proposals, the hard work of the Joint Police Cum Military Task Force, which was abruptly truncated, would be for nothing, and the illegal miners will even grow in confidence and perpetrate the illegality with impunity, as is already unfolding in some mining communities. Nana Akufo-Addo's government has won a few of the wars in this campaign against illegal mining, but it appears to have lost the battle. Maybe a case of good intentions with a blunt strategy.